What's going on, people? It's your host, Josh Kirby, here on the Kirby on Sports podcast. Check us out on all streaming platforms, all social media platforms. Excited to be on with you as we're getting set to start the NFL regular season. And we're going to get a little bit of a bettor's edge on today's interview. Have a very special guest with us today from FanDuel. She is a content creator by the name of Gabb Goudy. Gabb, welcome. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. I think I might be a good luck charm because
I think that you are.
because you've hit on two bets as we're recording, and it was Bo Naylor hitting a home run, and then Jimenez. And we said off cam, you were saying how you have a beef with the Twins. And
The Twins. It's just an in-division rival. It's like we're two really bad teams right now, seeing who can be worse. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, Gabb, I appreciate you joining us fresh off of FanDuel Fan Fest. It looks like you had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, it was great.
Talk about the experience at FanDuel Fan Fest, because I knew you had a lot of exciting content to do there as well.
Yeah, we did a lot of interviews. I did an interview with Lou Will. That was really cool. He was really funny. Darren Sproles, Nick Foles, a few concerts, hung out with some fans, played a lot of games, had a lot of good food, went to a Phillies game. It was great. Overall, just a great time.
Oh, the Phillies look to be hit or miss there, and here and there. I've watched some of their games as well, but as a Nats fan, I was like, man, we beat the Phillies once, and then the next night they hit the Nats. It's like
Right.
It's crazy how the world of sports works. But anyways, once again, content creator for FanDuel and one of the hosts of the podcast Unsportsmanlike Conduct on FanDuel's network as well. But first and foremost, before we get any further, Gabb, because I think I saw this somewhere else, but I usually ask everybody this: how you get started in the world of sports, because I think I heard something you were a big scientist once upon a time.
Oh yeah. So I went to school for biochemistry.
Oh my gosh.
I have a biochemistry degree. I do not use it at the moment. But yeah, I used to work in a lab every single day, wear a coat, wear goggles, do experiments. Yeah, that was my life for a little bit.
So how the avenue into sports come about from biochemistry?
I would just post on my social medias about sports because I have a lot of girlfriends. Like me and my girlfriends, we don't talk about sports. We just talk about girl stuff, Because not a lot of them are into sports. That's fine, whatever. But they'll come to games with me and stuff. So I was using my social media as a way just to put my opinions out there, talk about sports, talk about those things that I was interested in. People started following, started engaging, and then people started reaching out to me, asking me if I ever thought about doing sports content as a job. And I was like, not really, because I just work in science. I don't know. Tried it out part-time while I was doing my job, and then eventually just went full into sports. Here we are.
What's better, biochemistry or sports?
Well, I mean, it's really close. No, way better than biochemistry. But I liked my old job. Didn't dislike it, but this is just way more enjoyable and fun.
I would imagine the avenues it gives you in terms of the stuff you're able to do. I know you're at these different sporting events, interviewing different people, getting pretty good content out there for FanDuel. Just talk about what it's like being one of the faces on FanDuel, because I know also they're coming out with these season predictions where you're recording your prediction on if each team's going to win or lose on their schedule this season.
Yeah, so those are really fun to do. We have 4 or 5 different creators working on those. They give us the teams that they want us to do. I just record it in my apartment. I say, hey, this is what I think is going to happen. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it, but that's fine because they can make their own if they wanted to, You guys could just go off and make one if you wanted to, but yeah, that's what it is.
I know some people don't like your predictions in a sense. We talked about this off camera, but I mean, the amount of haters, it's like, come on, it's not it's not necessary because Gabb Goudy, she's a great content creator for FanDuel, and she puts out very great stuff. So I'm not sure why you're getting all this hate over some of these
People
predictions.
are passionate, you know. People are very passionate about their teams and they want their teams to be the best. And sometimes I don't think their teams are going to be good and maybe they'll prove me wrong. Who's to say, you know? We don't know. But
Yeah.
I understand that completely as like a sports fan. I know how people are and people say bad things about my team, like people saying bad things about my guy, Andres Jimenez. I was like, I don't like that. But yeah, you know, it's sports. It's just fandom. They want their team to do well.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk some NFL football here. I know you're a big Browns fan. Actually, rewind. I'm getting ahead of myself. Talk to me about Unsportsmanlike Conduct, another great product you put out for FanDuel. You're recording that every week, Tuesday at 7,
Yep.
if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Tuesday
But
at 7. Yep.
yeah, a lot of great content there as well. Just tell me about how that got started and any big plans you're doing with Unsportsmanlike Conduct to start the football season off right.
Yeah, so me and my co-host Bree, she's a big Patriots fan, big Red Sox, Celtics, everything New England. We record once a week, and it's really fun. We just give more of like a lighthearted opinion on sports. We're not feeding you stats. We're not doing this. Like if Joe Burrow got engaged, we're going to talk about that. Like the fun aspect of sports is what we do. We will talk about games. We'll dissect different things, but it's just all fun, all for fun.
And you've also had a lot of entertaining guests on there as well. What's that like to bring some big name guests onto your show?
The guests are great. The guests, like one of my favorite parts about doing it, because we get to talk to a bunch of different people from a bunch of different backgrounds and a bunch of different sports and a bunch of creators. It's just cool to see their stories and their perspectives on things. We had Patrick Queen last year, Greg Russo. It's fun stuff.
That's great. I mean, podcasting or doing stuff like this in general, it's always cool to get different perspectives along the way, which is really cool in any avenue, I believe, not just in sports, but anywhere. So keep up the great work with Unsportsmanlike Conduct. But now let's get into some NFL football talk. Obviously, you're a Browns fan, do or die for the Browns. I saw that they just released Cade York. I saw you're potentially trying out for the starting job there at a FanDuel Fan Fest.
Yeah, I feel bad for Cade York. So, I mean, no one ever wants to lose their job. You know, he wasn't going out there trying to lose his job. And that sucks to see. You know, it was a 4th-round pick. He was great in college. His first ever, like, field goal in a game was a 58-game winner, which was crazy. And then it just was not good since then. I feel bad for the guy. But, you know, you gotta show up and you gotta work hard and you gotta make your kicks. And he wasn't doing it. So here we go.
So talk to me about the Browns. What have you seen out of the Browns so far in the preseason? And what are you looking to see come the regular season? Because it looks like Deshaun Watson's back 100%. And looks like the Browns are investing in him and seeing how that goes with Deshaun Watson. But what are you looking to see out of your Browns this year?
Well, the bare minimum would be playoffs, I think. You're paying him so much money. You have so many other players that you're paying. You have a great roster on a piece of paper that can never do it. So unless they do it, it's going to be pretty disappointing. Playoffs or blow it up. That's what I'm going to say.
It must have been cool when the Browns actually made it to the playoffs and upset the Steelers. Like, I believe that was the last time they got in, but with the rosters I've been seeing for the Browns, it's just very surprising they haven't made that catch to the playoffs ever since, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I've only seen one playoff win in my lifetime. That's fine. It's very Cleveland, but it was exciting. It was very exciting. I didn't think they had a chance to beat the Steelers at all. And yeah, other than that, that's all I got. That's all I got to say about it. It was exciting.
What's your win total for the Browns this year?
I hope they win 11 games.
11?
Yes.
All right. All right. So let's talk about my Commanders. I want to get your thoughts. Do you focus much on the NFC side? If so,
Oh
just
yeah.
give me your thoughts. Obviously, with the sale of the team, Ron Rivera, you have young quarterback Sam Howell. Commanders look pretty good on paper, but yet
Mhm.
again, I think everybody's taking too much stock into the fact that this team just got sold and the fan base is turning themselves around. But again, I'm not sure if that will correlate directly to the play on the field, because yes, the Commanders have a young quarterback in Sam Howell, but it looks like they have a good receiving core. But again, that O-line in Chase Young too. Who knows if he's 100% healthy? But give me your thoughts on my Washington Commanders.
I think they're going to be better than what people are expecting. I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be like a Super Bowl contender, but I think they're going to compete with a lot of teams. And they'll probably get a couple wins that you aren't expecting from teams, you know? I think young, competitive team. The defense, I feel like they're going to be pretty good. And as long as Howe can get it together, I think they'll be okay. I really like Terry McLaurin. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. I think he's super underrated. I feel like he hasn't had the right situation to shine how he really can. So I'm rooting for that.
It's crazy in my mind just how loaded this NFC East was. And we saw it a lot last year. It's still a division since like 2012 with no repeat champion. Just looking at the NFC East and how loaded and stacked this division is, and I'm not even sure if this is on FanDuel, but could you maybe guesstimate a combined rather division wins total throughout the four teams? Is that even a thing on FanDuel?
I don't think it is, but that would be cool to do.
Yeah, it would. Let's just play around the Kirby on sports book.
I don't think the Giants are going to be very good, but I'm a hater.
I think, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I feel like they're very shaky. If
I
you
don't
get
think
what
the
I
Eagles
mean.
are going to be as good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. Even with the stellar draft, Howie Roseman pulled off.
Yep.
Wow. There we go.
I'm not rooting on their downfall, but I just think teams are going to be better.
Yeah. So could you guesstimate a combined win total for the NFC East if you had to?
Okay, so what do? We win. There's 17 games for each.
Yep.
I don't know. The Giants are going to win like 8.
Giants 8. I'm writing this down for you.
You guys probably I'll go 8 also. Just play it safe.
All right.
Cowboys 12 wins.
Oh man, the Cowboys with 12.
Eagles,
I don't like the Cowboys.
11, and Cowboys win the division.
And the Eagles.
We'll go 11 for the Eagles.
11. That's pretty high. Yeah, I could see that. The Giants, I could see them going maybe 7, 8. Commanders, I mean, I don't know. The Commanders fan base, I'm not sure if it's the same as the Browns, but it's the fact that the Commanders, like, we put so much stock into, oh, we have all these good players, we're going to make a great run, and then we just get absolutely crushed because they just don't perform or something happens and we're like, oh, we suck. And I just get optimistic. We get optimistic and then it just falls back on us, which really sucks.
Yeah, I feel like that's for like the same with the Browns. Every single season, everyone hypes them up. They're like, oh, they're going to be so good. They're going to do this. And then they barely win 8 games. They don't finish above 500. And then we have to redo the whole entire process again.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks to see, even with like teams like the Commanders, the Browns, they haven't been to the Super Bowl in so long.
I've never been. My team's never been to the Super Bowl.
Yes. But I mean, just not in our lifetime. You get what I'm saying? I just want to see my team make it to the Super Bowl. And it just sucks that that they're just not doing so well. And I'm just hoping that before I die, and I'm sure before you die, that our teams make it and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would love to see it, but I would never believe it. You could tell me anything about the Browns, and I would not believe it. Anything positive, and I'd say, yeah, probably not.
Absolutely. I bet a lot of people on Twitter are saying a lot of bad, positive things, and you might not believe it, or saying a bunch of negative things too, and just to get on your bad side. But again, I don't know why they do that. But anyways, just take me through. I'm gonna give you sort of a loaded one here, Gabb.
Okay.
Just take me through teams you think are going to surprise people this year in the NFL.
Lions, but not in a good way.
Really? Not in a good way.
I'm so anti-Lions now.
Really?
Everyone's all in on the Lions, and I'm going Vikings over the Lions. Maybe Bears over the Lions. I think the Packers are going to be bad. Really, I don't see any like super surprising teams. I feel like we kind of know what the teams are. I say that now, and then someone's going to do something crazy. I think the Jags are going to be pretty good, but I feel like everybody is also on that. And the Chargers, I think they might win a playoff game. I would like to see Justin Herbert win a playoff game.
After last season,
Which was bad.
That I stayed up for that whole game after throwing 4 picks, and you come back and win for the Jags. It's like, how?
Right.
I was like, that was one of the craziest games ever in a playoff, I would say. But what made it a little bit worse, and you may or may not agree with me, and I'm not hating on the man, but the ending call that Al Michaels had to that game-winning field goal. Because it was like so anticlimactic. It was like, oh, we'll check the flag, and everybody was complaining about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't more enthusiasm behind it, which was just odd to me. But besides that, it's I could see. I'll tell you something I could see, and I may be wrong. Everybody after I post this might say, hey, Kirby, you're absolutely crazy. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions upset the Chiefs opening night. Could you potentially see that?
See, I'm so big on Patrick Mahomes that I don't want to see it. I could see it, but I don't want to see it.
Big Patrick Mahomes, big Chiefs fan too.
I love Patrick Mahomes. I think he is the best player in the NFL that we will ever see in our lifetime. Better than Tom Brady. Now that's a lot to say, but I just think he's awesome.
Well, I mean, the stuff he can do throwing the ball. I mean, it's like you have all the other quarterbacks down here, but Patrick Mahomes just in his own little level, just right on the very top. And it's like, how does he do it? And he's competing year in and year out at a very, very high exceptional level. And it's just really remarkable to see how he performs. And it's a treat getting the chance to watch him each and every week too.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the things that he does. And it's just prime TV every time.
Did you watch the documentary on Netflix, Quarterback?
No, I didn't watch it.
Well, the first episode, I got to the first episode, but his segment in it is pretty darn cool too. And you were talking about the Vikings, and they also have Kirk Cousins in there too, and they were talking about the story behind his quote unquote Coles outfit. And Kirk Cousins, compared to Patrick Mahomes in that series, Kirk Cousins is just a normal guy who goes out and plays football for a living. Yeah, it's crazy. Nothing spectacular. I mean, it's like he's just getting his clothes on for the press conference. If everybody's hating on him, he's just trying to have a normal lifestyle, and he just plays football for a living.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. So, let's shift really quick. Baseball. Obviously, you're a big Guardians fan as well.
Mhm.
Again, you can call me your good luck charm because two bets hit as we were recording, even before we started recording. But
Right.
how have you liked the Guardians so far this season? And
Oh,
have you
man.
followed a lot of the rest of the MLB? And if so, just tell me your thoughts as we're nearing closer and closer to the
Yeah.
postseason. What you're expecting to see?
So I think the Guardians exceeded what their like playing potential was last season. Like last season was supposed to be a rebuild year. They were not supposed to be good. They won a lot of games. They're playing in a really bad division. They got it done towards the end of the season. They won some games in the playoffs and they were fun and exciting and young, but they had pieces on the team that were just not very good. And I felt like those pieces should have been like gone. Like Ahmed Rosario. Ahmed Rosario is a fine like utility player. He shouldn't be an everyday starting shortstop. So bringing him back, having him for a whole half of a season, just being in the way of like 5 prospects that we have that are very, very, very good at shortstop was just really, I don't know what the right word is, but it was just really annoying to watch when you know he's not part of your future and you have to see that. So that was annoying. All of our starters basically getting hurt, our pitching staff. That was pretty annoying. I just think we have a lot of young guys that need playing time to figure out who they're going to be as players before they're going to be like good. And I think since they overachieved last year, that delayed the process of this. So now we're seeing it.
It's crazy to think that some of these teams, like who are historically pretty good, like the Yankees, they're looking terrible. It is some of these other teams who I could see they might be making some big changes here soon. What do you think?
Yeah, a lot of the Padres probably should, the Mets, all the teams that are
Like
spending a
already.
lot of money. Yeah.
Um, I'll tell you though, it's pretty funny because I think the Nats now have a better record than the Padres. And who do the Nats have on their team? After trading everybody
Mhm.
after that World Series
They have
run,
a fun little shortstop.
I tell you what, it's crazy to think. I mean, because the Nats aren't going to make it to the playoffs,
Mhm.
but they're making baseball very fun and exciting to watch.
Yeah, you're getting to
And
see these young guys develop into players that they could be, and the development has been great. Lane Thomas is very good.
absolutely.
Mhm.
It just goes to show you what the Orioles did before and where they are
Right.
now.
Yeah, you just
This
gotta give them time.
this could potentially happen to the Nats too.
Mhm. But I know, like, fans, they don't like that. They want good players now, but sometimes when you get good players now, look what happens. Mets, not good. Yankees, not good. Padres, not good. But I would like some of those players on my team, though, I would say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So I believe it was last year you were at Camden or this year?
I both.
Both.
Mhm.
So I got to ask now that we're finally getting together and recording a segment here. How do you like the hot dog with crab and mac and cheese?
Love it. It's so good.
I got it my first time there. I'm telling you, it
It is
is.
so good.
People might think, oh yeah, it's a terrible combination. When you go to Baltimore, and when you go to Maryland, it's like crab central, and you get that, and it's going to change the way you think
Mhm.
of hot dogs anymore because crab, mac and cheese on a hot dog, that is a
So
great
good.
combination in front of watching live baseball at Camden Yards. Nothing beats that atmosphere, even though I'm not even an Orioles fan, but it's just really cool to see.
Yeah, it's an awesome time every single time I'm there.
Yeah. So, Gab, before we let you go, just tell the viewers, listeners of my podcast where they can find you and all your incredible work. And is there anything exciting coming out, content wise, that we can be excited and looking out for?
Just the NFL season, just the NFL season. We're gonna start rolling pretty soon with that. But no, you guys can find me at Gabb Goudy, GABBGOUDY, on literally every single platform you want to go on. That's what I'll be.
Gab, I appreciate you chopping it up with me, talking some sports. It was a lot of fun, and maybe we can do it again throughout the NFL
Mhm.
season at some point.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, Gabb. Thanks for your time, and we'll catch you all next time. Peace out.
Yeah.